Hey guys, Matt here, and I am traveling Matt once again. And this week I am in South Florida, Fort Myers area to start. We'll see where we go from here. Reffing my reptilian disc golf polo because sometimes you want to be a classy lizard. And this week, since I'm flying, I've got my handy little travel bag. And I'll show you the discs I'm packing. It's tournament season, so I'm kind of sticking to discs that I know I'll be throwing at events and are mainly from my bag. So I've got Reptilian Carnivore as my main distance driver. If you haven't tried one of those, they absolute bomb. They're awesome. Main forehand driver is going to be this Neutron Flare I got from my buddy Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. Got an Innova T-Bird with a Led Zeppelin die on it because that's hilarious, but I throw T-Birds a bunch. Gotta have a Stego. It's Stego season. We're out here getting crazy birdies with it. And then for my putting and approaching, I've got an Axiom Envy, just the regular Electron Envy. So that should give me a pretty good range of discs to attack these courses with. And the first one I'm at is at a church. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it next.
Okay, friends, this is the Preserve at Summit Church, not to be confused with the beautiful Preserve in Minnesota. It is a weird little course. It's these three baskets along the edge of this retention pond and a church parking lot. It would be unplayable if there were basically anyone in this parking lot, but there's some fun holes here. You play from, they do have 3 paver tee pads, 2 each of the 3 baskets, so you can get 9 holes out of it that are unique. Threw a bunch of little Stego shots, but some of these are not that short. They're in the high 300s, but most of them I would say are between 200 and 275. Pretty fun little course, especially for only being 3 baskets. Now this is my 200th different disc golf course, Estero Disc Golf Park, and it was just a beautiful place. A lot of these shots over water where you got some of these big palm trees, mangrove trees to miss. And I feel like you're throwing over a pond on about half the holes. This one, I got my flare a little bit lower than I meant to. It skips off the water and then up into the left side of the circle. Got away with one there. I did end up losing a couple discs out here, but not that flare. It's a really nice mix of like wooded and open holes, a lot of water, really fun. A couple of these little tunnel shots on the back half. And this is a really pretty Vietnamese restaurant yet. I thought that was a really cool visual, so I threw it in the video.
Okay, guys, so Estero Park, super exciting. My 200th unique disc golf course. It was super fun, a lot of crazy water shots, and they even had top of the world shot, which for Florida is really unique. The downside of it is I sacrificed 2 discs to the Gator gods out there. My Led Zeppelin T-Bird, may it rest in peace, on a player B shot. Come on, those are always better, but not that time. And also on a second shot on hole 16, I lost my Carnivore. So I found a Play It Again Sports near my hotel, looking for a speed 7-ish, 789 driver, something stable but not too overstable, and a distance driver to make up for those spots just to get me through this trip, looking for something cheap. I ended up finding a Protostar Hawkeye, so that's the old FD mold, for $9. It's new. That's kind of cool. And then I got a first run West Side adder that they had marked down to $8. And I actually throw adders. If you watch my In the Bag up on the Fly Right Disc Golf channel, you might have seen that. So it's kind of cool to get a couple that I actually do throw. And I'm at a course at a church, Riverside Disc Golf course at Riverside Church in Fort Myers. It looks like a pretty fleshed out course for a church. I haven't seen too many with this much space or 18 holes, so let's give it a look.
So hole 1, a nice big open, like 450-foot shot. Got it out there with a putt. And this is a long course for a church. The main things that you're looking out for are the trees that border the property. There's a couple creeks that wind through it. And the wind is so open and windy. This is actually my first throw with a Hawkeye here. Flips up and goes bullet straight for 350 and actually a little long of a pin. But really nice flight on that one. A little bit too much hyzer on that flare, but it just barely stays in bounds. There is barbed wire along the perimeter of the property in some spots. And then you have Roto Bee on the front. So I ran the heck out of this one just trying to get it where I could get an ace, but ended up settling for a par. Really fun little course. This is South Charlotte Disc Golf Course. I ended up playing this one the next day. Another one with a lot of water, really interesting layout. There's some long holes, not very many short ones, and they do say in all this water, beware the gators. I did not see any of my fellow reptiles, but they did have a lot of cool signs out there. I think these flying disc ones should be distributed pretty much everywhere. The only issues I had were like this hole where the basket's tucked over there behind a RC car track, so you get a little bit too close to your fellow park goers on a few. Nice little water shot here, doing the ace run with the FB, or Hawkeye, excuse me. And then
So we got 1,000-foot par 5. It'll be on the right. This should be fun.
I'm on my first shot out here. Big Anheuser Flex with the adder. It was a little bit more dramatic throw than it needed to be. It only went about 425, but still not a bad start on this behemoth of a hole. Pumping the adder again, and this one's right at 400, so I've got about 150 left to the pin. Going with the Stego, and I got a little distracted by that soccer ball shooting over there, but I am on circle's edge right side, putting that putt right barely in the edge of the right side chains. Now this one's a beautiful hole. You got to throw it over the sidewalk and then around the trees. It's to the left, and then there's actually a soccer field over there, so I'm glad I didn't hit a kid, but I had to skip a couple holes due to all the kids playing. And these ending holes are really fantastic. You got the water on the left there, water on the right on this one. And I thought this shot was a little bit short and right, but it actually ended up about 3 feet from the, well, not 3 feet, but 12 feet from the pin, easy putt. So I do my drive up towards the Tampa area. Beautiful drive over the bay here. And then this is the Oldsmar Disc Golf Course. Unfortunately, I broke my phone holder on my tripod on this one, but it's really pretty. Again, a lot of water, a lot of long shots. This is a 900-foot tunnel shot, which is something I've never played before. And you've got this big hyzer shot over the channel. Going down the boardwalk, don't know where it's going. It's long. There's a little creek looking thing. That's kind of cool. This is in between holes 12 and 13 at Oldsmar. I wonder what's down here. Just the neighborhood. I better finish soon if they close at dusk. And after you have a long round of disc golf, you always want to get something good to eat. I was looking for something to eat pretty close to there, and ended up finding this little Greek fishing village here in Tarpon Springs. Apparently that's where they used to fish for sponges, and maybe still do. Really cool little Greek bakery here. I had to get a couple pieces of baklava. And then here's some of the sponge boats all along the edge of the channel here. This guy's got a bunch of fresh looking ones hanging up. I don't know if these guys are all still active, but the boats kind of look like they are, so they're up doing something. And then over to Cypress Point Park, flying out. It's right by the airport, so if you're ever in the area, want to play some disc golf and want to see something, a real beautiful park, got a little beach there, and then pretty nice course too. Ken Climo designed this one, and I do think he did a pretty darn good job with the area he was given. The only problem is it's so near the water, it does collect a lot of water, so if it's rained anytime, it's going to be a little wet. Thank you guys for coming along for my adventures in the great state of Florida, and for being there for my 200 different course. Here's to 200 more, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.